Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Patita Pavana Gaura Hare, Paramadayalu Gaura Hare. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Radha Madhav Jaya, Radha Madhav. Radha Madhav Jaya, Radha Madhav. Natinga Dev Jaya, Narasimha Dev. Narasimha Dev Jaya, Narasimha Dev. Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya, Ananta Dev. Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya, Ananta Dev. Prahlad Maharaja Jaya, Prahlad Maharaja. Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudev 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 Srila Gurudev. Jai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol. कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Welcome you all to this last part, because practically this is going to be the concluding session for Parivartan 2025. Unfortunate, but what to do? My yatras are like that, quickly. It runs off quickly. So it is so wonderful that this concluding class is given by His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. I'm sure many devotees sitting here take inspiration from Prabhuji for their daily practice of Krishna consciousness. Recently we had His Grace Bhurijan Prabhu. He had come to Bangalore. And in some discussion, Prabhuji's name came and we were having a discussion. So Bhurijan Prabhu said that Radheshyam Prabhu is one such personality whom I know. He practices what he preaches. And we are very fortunate. We have a devotee who speaks the idealistic principles and he tries his best to establish example to follow that very nicely. So let's welcome Prabhuji for this wonderful session that he is going to give now by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Power card bring it down. Otherwise, I'll leave it in the car. I'll leave it. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvannmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. Yeah, it can be like that. Little bit you can loosen. Yeah, Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you. Before we enter into Prahlad's qualities, is my sound good enough for all of you behind? Can you hear me well? Good? Okay. No? Oh, they can't hear that. Hari Bol, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How is it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You can reduce the bass, make sharp, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right? Good now, huh? Yeah. See, once upon a time, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, I heard that Narada Muni, in his travels, he thought that Kali Yuga must be very bad. Already Shastras have predicted Kali Yuga is, the fourth age, in the four ages, where there is going to be Pralaya at the end of Kali Yuga. So he thought the age must be very degraded. But then, to his great surprise, he saw in Kumbh Mela 4 crore people are coming. Similarly, in Giriraj Parikrama, there are lakhs of people. Jagannath Rath Yatra, 15 lakh people. Koti Tirtha, Rameshwaram, lakhs of people. So Narada Muni was surprised. He rubbed his eyes and saw, is it Kali Yuga or Satya Yuga? People are so pious. Huh? How is it? It is said Kali Yuga is so bad. Immediately he went to Vaikuntha and told Supreme Lord Narayana, my dear Lord, many people are so fond of you. Please tell me, for how many people can you give Vaikuntha passport to bring them to Vaikuntha? Lord smiled and said, Narada, why should I put any restriction for you? You can bring as many as you wish. You are my pure devotee. So then Narada came down. He went to all these holy places and made an announcement about going back to Vaikuntha. To his great surprise, everybody had some excuse. Somebody said, I really want to come with you. Only thing is my daughter is not yet married. Somebody said, I really want to come with you. My son has to settle in a business. Somebody said, I really want to come. I just want to see my grandson born. My daughter is pregnant. Once she gives birth to a child, after that I can come. Everybody had some excuse why they didn't want to come. At last, there was one man who got ready because Narada wanted to show to Narayana that at least there is one person. But that one person asked, what is the program in Vaikuntha? When are you coming back? He asked. Narada said, Yad Gatva Na Nivartante. There is no coming back program. Once you go there, you never come. Then he also said, I am also not coming. So all of you may wonder, How is it that these people are wearing chandan, kumkum? They are very pious. They even follow four regulative principles also. Why are they not eager to go back to God? So if you see this table difference, which I am going to show you now, it will be very clear for you. You can show the table, this thing? Yeah. See, pious person versus devotee of God. Pious person worships different devatas. Hmm. And the devotee of the Lord worships Krishna as the supreme. What is understanding of all of us based on the Bhagavad Gita? Krishna clearly says, Yanti deva vrata devan pitran yanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopi mam. Those who worship devatas go to devatas. Those who worship the pitrus go to pitrus. Those who worship ghosts and spirits go to ghosts and spirits. Those who worship me come back to me. Like the Krishna is telling. So very simple. So if you want to go back to Krishna, you should worship whom? Very simple. Ye pyanya devata bhakta yante. Like that he says. Shraddhayanvitaha. He says. Yepi anya devata, he says. Either you worship me or there are people worshipping anya devata. He says. Kamaistaistair hridajnana prapadyante anya devata tam tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyata swaya. Now Ravana is worshipping Shiva for having a Lanka made of gold. Prahlad is worshipping Supreme Lord Vishnu. So there's a big difference between the worship of the Supreme Lord versus the worship of the demigods. When we worship the devatas, that is, the example is given by Prabhupada. One place he says, for example, when I was studying in my second standard, just outside the school, they used to sell one pink color mithai. So all my friends would buy, I also would buy. Only problem was it will be surrounded by flies. My mom saw it one day and said, hey, beta, this you should never buy and eat. If you want some mithai, I will purchase it from a shop and give you, which is kept nicely in bottles. I told my mother, you see, that is 2 rupee chocolate in the shop. This is only 20 paise. She said, why 2 rupees? Even if it is 200 rupees, I will buy for you. But you should not eat that which is covered by flies. So she was very concerned about my health. On the other hand, the same mithai wala, shop wala, you give him 20 paise, he will close his eyes and give you a mithai. Because he is not concerned about your health. Who is concerned? Krishna is like that. Krishna is like a mother and the devatas are like a shopkeeper. Shopkeeper will give you any price you pay, they will give you without thinking about what it will do to you. Whereas your mother is a well-wisher. She knows what is good for you. Your parents are your well-wishers, so they will. So Krishna always will think, oh, Dhruva is coming to me with a material desire. I will cleanse his heart. After that, I will give him Dhruva Loka. So then he will not misuse it. Whereas, Bhasmasura, Ravana, all these people, their heart was not cleansed. They were given some power, material power, and then they misused it. You all know. Hiranyakashipu was given benedictions by whom? Brahma. So devatas give like that. That's the problem. So the Shastras say that if you go to Supreme Lord, you get one result. If you go to devatas, you get another result. So Supreme Lord, if you go, you can go from material world to spiritual world. If you go to devatas, they will help you get some material benefits and stay in the material world. Just like if you are in a jail, it's very cold. Somebody may give you a mosquito net. Or somebody may give you a blanket the night to sleep. You may ask for some things within the jail. Devatas are like that. And Krishna is like what? He will help you get out of the jail. So that's the difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Other Puranas tell you how to make your material life a little better. Whereas Bhagavad Purana teaches you how to get out of the material world. Don't go back to Godhead. So how many of you want to go back to Godhead? Therefore, we follow the Supreme Lord. So here you see, pious person is eye-centered, seeks material benedictions. Many people go to different devatas in temples, they close their eyes. Why? Because they have to remember the list, what all they want. Isn't it? You see the beauty of Krishna, how he is standing in a threefold bending form. You don't close your eyes. But when people go to devatas temples, they think of, my Lord, please get my daughter married. My Lord, I have, like in our temple, I saw some two, three little girls had come, second standard, in white and blue uniform. I asked, you children, you come regularly to our temple? I asked. They said, uncle, you don't know today is our examination. They said, otherwise, why will you come to temple? So they generally go to temple only for material benedictions. So that's why it is that they are eye-centered, seeks material benedictions. Whereas devotee of God is Krishna-centered, seeks purification of heart and eternal seva for the Lord. Prabhupada said, many Christians go to church and say, give us our daily bread. Prabhupada said, we are not a bread-seeking religion. We are a bread-giving religion. Yashoda is calling, Kana, come here, take bread and butter. Isn't it? Is Yashoda saying, Kana, please give me daily bread? No. Kana, come and take the butter from me. She is giving. So, out of love, devotees go to temple to give God. Sudama was the poorest of the Brahmins, with tattered clothes and bones visible. He told his wife, how can I go with an empty hand when I am going to meet my very dear friend Krishna? So even such a person in poverty-stricken devotee, he is in a mood to give Krishna something, chipped rice. Fruit vendor lady is giving fruits to Krishna. Yashoda is giving butter to Krishna. Nobody is asking anything. Devotee means give to Krishna. And demigod worshippers means take from demigods. That's the difference. So here Devata worshippers, they follow scriptural injunctions and they may do good, be good and all that. But they don't have a clear-cut idea of goal of life. But devotee means very clear. The goal of life is to perform eternal loving service. And then they are complacent in pious activities and can become lazy. Whereas devotees are serious about spiritual practices and alert not to fall down again. Pious people often can become proud of their piety and boast that I gave annadan, or I did this, I did that. But devotees consider themselves insignificant and fallen, and they always pray to Guru and other Vaishnavas, please purify my heart, uplift me, engage me in Krishna service. They follow any saint or guru or so-called bogus avatars who claim to be God. In South India, there are many ladies who are very proud to say that my son and daughter are in America. And they may be themselves worshipping many of the so-called avatars. One time, one Manian, of a magazine author of Jnana Bhumi, he went to Puttaparthi. He met Sai Baba and made an interview. Sai Baba, are you Bhagavan? Sai Baba said, no. Then everybody is calling you Bhagavan Puttaparthi Sai Baba. And Sai Baba laughed and said, what to do? That is people's sentiments about me, he said. But don't you tell them you are not Bhagavan? He said, oh, they have such Shraddha in me, but I am not. That interview is available. So you will see that although he says he is not Bhagavan, people have made him Bhagavan. So in South India, you see the name Sai very commonly. But people have converted the Sahasranam into Sai Sahasranam now. So people have blind faith. So pious people may follow anybody. Take any saint and call him as God. So such blind faith is there. But devotees of the Lord clearly know the tattva from the Shastra, Siddhanta from the Bhagavad Gita. If somebody asks us, why do you say Krishna is God? You can quote from Bhagavad Gita what Arjuna said. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyamadi Devam Ajam Vibhum, Ahustvam Rishayah Sarve Deva Rishir Naradas Tatha, Asito Devalo Vyaso Swayam Chaiva Pravishime, Sarvametat Ritam Manye Yanmam Vadasi Keshava, Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Devanadhanavaha. Arjuna is telling this. Krishna, you are the Supreme Brahman, you are the Supreme Abode. So, and not only I am saying, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, Narada, all big rishis are calling you as the Supreme Lord. Now you are yourself declaring to me that you are the Supreme, he is telling. So we have authentic references from scriptures why we accept Krishna as God. So here Ajamila was a Karmakandi Brahman, but then he fell down, you see. On the other hand, Prahlad, Bhishma, Dhruva, they all became staunch followers of the Supreme Lord and went back to Godhead. Often these people follow Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Four Purusharthas we call it. And then gradually they may go through many lifetimes, little, and then they may come across, Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, after many lifetimes. Whereas here, bhakta means we should follow the path of ananya bhakti, which teaches us Shuddha bhakti, we call it. See, these 12 Mahajans are all very special. This is spoken by Yamaraj in one verse. Swayambhu Naradashambhu Kumara Kapilo Mano Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Bhalir Vaya Sakir Vayam Dvadashayete Vijanemo Dharman Bhagavatan Bhataha Durlabam Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yajñatva Amritamashnute. He says that these 12 Mahajans, they know the truth, he says, about the Bhagavad Dharma, Ananya Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti, he says. Because every one of them has had a special interaction with Supreme Lord. You name a person, like you will see Prahlad. His father was picked up by Narasimha and he was tore apart. His belly was torn. And Prahlad is garlanding that person who is killing his father. Will anybody garland somebody who is killing his father? Because Prahlad knew that Lord Narasimha has come to perform a transcendental surgery for my father. After that, my father will be liberated by this. So, this is Mahajan. Mahajan means he has a clear vision. That Supreme Lord, whether he is angry or whether he is embracing, there is no difference between the two. Both are exhibition of pure love. You could see that. Similarly, Bali Maharaj, Lord came to take away all the three lokas from him. He happily gave it away. Any of us, if we were to give away all our property, we will cry. But Bali Maharaj very happily gave. That's why Mahajans are very, very special people. The Mahajanas are those who are such pure devotees whom the Lord has put them in this list by dint of their absolute surrender in different situations. Bhishma also. See, Lord told Bhishma, you be on Kaurava's side and Pandavas will be on your opposite side. Who will agree to this? Naturally, if I was in Bhishma's position, I would have told the Lord, my dear Lord, I am also one of your devotees. Why didn't you put me on Pandava's side? But Lord said, no, I want you for a special role. If you are on the other side, I'll be on this side. We can enjoy Virya Rasa. How many of you know about Virya Rasa? Yeah. Virya Rasa means chivalrous rasa. Just like a king sometimes appoints what do you call Malla? Malla means like a kushti performing person. And then he pays him monthly salary. And then king is having a kushti with him, fight with him, wrestling with him. All the queens and ministers are laughing and clapping hands. They just have good fun. So this wrestler is not the enemy of the king. He is actually a servant of the king. But he punches the king just for the king's pleasure. Similarly, Lord Krishna also has 5 rasas in the spiritual world. Beginning with Shantaras, Dasaras, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. But apart from that, there are 7 more rasas. One of the secondary rasas called Virya Rasa, where the Lord likes to fight with somebody. Lord gets some fun in the stunt also. Any of you like stunt in movie? You like stunt? Slowly they are raising hand. I also like, don't worry. We all have some thrill. When you see in the movie, sometimes the hero is kicked by the villain in the top of the mountain and the hero is falling out. Only his 2 hands are catching the rock and the villain will put his shoe on the top, he will crush it. And the hero is catching with 1 hand like this. And then it appears the hero is going to fall. Everybody is at the edge of their seat, isn't it? Then you know how the hero comes up and villain will be finished after that. So sometimes in such movie, people kick their neighbor also sometimes. So why do we get the thrill? Because Lord originally enjoys stunt also. But the problem for the Lord is, in spiritual world, nobody is ready to fight with him. At the most, they may take a lotus and throw on him. That's all. The Lord wonders, none of the guys are ready to fight. So the Lord says, Chalo, we will go to the material world. You be on the other side. So Lord makes Jai Vijay into two demons, isn't it? Just to enjoy the fighting with them. So Bhishma was told, you be on the other side, I'll be here. And he agreed. Whole world is misunderstanding Bhishma. But Bhishma doesn't care a fig about it. Because who is happy? That's Mahajan. For Mahajan, Lord's pleasure is everything. For the sake of the Lord, I am ready to become a villain also. No problem. See, in our Pune temple, we found one fellow with a very hefty body and a big moustache with 2 balls here. Some people in Tamil Nadu, they have like that. So we told him, we are looking for exactly during Ram Navami for one role of Ravana. You are not getting. We told him, you exactly fit this role. We told him, can you please play the role? He was waving his hand. No, 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 no. I don't want. We asked him why. He said, after the drama is over, people will continue calling me. I don't want to play. The next day he came and asked, but I am ready to perform the drama. If you can make me Ram, I am ready. He was saying. So we said, you don't fit the Ram's role. Look at you, how you look like. So the point is, even in a drama, people are not ready to become Ravana. But Bhishma was ready to play that role for the whole lifetime. Even though many people even now don't know about Bhishma. Bhishma is a pure devotee. He's a Mahajan also. So all these Mahajanas are Ananya Bhaktas, Shuddha Bhaktas. And the pious people, they follow multiple dharmas they follow. Like branches of a tree. But the ultimate dharma is Bhagavad Dharma, which is stem of the tree or the root of the tree. So devotee only follows the Bhagavata Dharma. What is Bhagavad Dharma? It's the king of all dharmas. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shushaha. That mamekam sharanam vraja, that is Bhagavata Dharma. Kaumaram acharet prajnyo dharman bhagavataniha, that's Bhagavad Dharma. Prahlad is talking about love of God. So today we are going to talk about Prahlad's qualities. It will become very clear to you what is Bhagavad Dharma, how he practices. See, the divine qualities of Prahlad Maharaja are listed in one verse, 7th canto, 4th chapter, 31-32. All of you can repeat this. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna Satyasandha Jitendriyaha Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam Ekapriya Suhrittamaha Dasavat Sannataryangrihi Pitruvat Deenavatsalaha Bratruvat Sadrishe Snigdaha Gurushu Yeshwara Bhavanaha Vidyartarupa Janmadya Manastambha Vivarjitaha. See, I have given the meanings. Why it is jumping like this? What's happening? See, please all of you repeat the meaning. Brahmanyaha, respectful to Brahmanas and Vedic scriptures. Shila Sampannaha, endowed with exemplary character and conduct. Satyasandaha, firmly fixed in truthfulness. Jitendriyaha, master of his senses. Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam, sees all living beings as equal to himself. Ekapriya Suhrittamaha, the one true well-wishing friend of all. Dasavat Sannataryangrihi, humble like a servant before great souls. Pitruvat Deenavatsalaha, compassionate like a father to the poor and helpless. Bratruvat Sadrishe Snigdaha, affectionate like a brother to equals. Gurushu Ishwara Bhavanaha, sees spiritual teachers as representatives of Supreme Lord. Vidyartarupa Janmadyaha, enriched with knowledge and good birth. Manastambha Vivarjitaha, completely free from pride and arrogance. So very, very valuable to learn from these qualities. I have referred to Vishnu Purana and the Padma Purana and Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the base from where I have drawn some pastimes and examples from Prahlad's life. Let us go one by one, all the qualities. See, Brahmanyaha means respectful to Brahmanas and scriptures. You see, when Prahlad, although he is born to Hiranyakashipu, a demon, personally, if you see the quality of Prahlad, he was always respectful. He was always respectful to the followers of the Vedas. You can see that. There are so many examples we can give. When all the devatas were standing in front of Lord Narasimha, sitting on the throne, they were all trembling due to the roaring of Narasimha. But Prahlad was also standing with folded palms. He had great respect for the devatas. When Brahma told him, Prahlad, Lord is very, very angry and roaring, all of us are afraid. Huh? Before calling Prahlad, he told Lakshmi, but Lakshmi was not ready to go. She said, my husband is in angry mood, I cannot go. Sakshat Sri Preshita Devair Drishtva Tam Mahadadbhutam Adrishta Ashruta Purvatvat Na Upeyaya Shankita. She said, I have never seen my Lord in this fashion. Huh? So I cannot go, she said. Then Brahma turned to Prahlad and said, see, because of you only Lord came. So I think it's better that you only pacify the Lord. When Prahlad was told to offer prayers to Lord Narasimha, immediately he considered his disqualification. He told them the very first famous verse, Brahmadaya Suragana Munayota Siddha Satvaikatana Matayo Vachasam Pravahai Naraditum Purugunai Raduna Pipipruhu Kim Toshtumarhati Same Harirugrajate. My dear Devatas, I am born in Ugrajati. Ugrajati means demons family. You all are Devatas. You Devatas sing Sanskrit poetry with Ras Chand Alankar. Streams of words like Ganga flowing, you can speak Sanskrit shlokas. But as far as I am concerned, I am born in a demoniac family. How can I praise the Lord? He said. And you all are in Sattuguna. We Asuras are in Rajoguna and Tamaguna. You always align by the Lord's will. And we people never align with Lord's will. We oppose the Lord's will. And you are asking me to glorify the Lord. What qualification do I possess? This was the humility of Prahlad. Huh? You can see that while dealing with the Devatas, how he dealt. And when it comes to praising his spiritual master, when Lord Narasimha asked Prahlad, what benediction do you want? He immediately remembered his guru and told Narasimha, it is only by the mercy of Narada that I am seeing you eye to eye, my dear Lord. Other than my Guru's seva, I don't want anything, he said. Evam, he told one very famous verse. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama vikam manuya prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat sura rishina bhagavan grihita soham katam navisruje tava britya sevam. He said, my Guru, Narada, made me exactly like himself, a Vaishnava. I am born in Asura family, but he put me tilak, he put kantimala, he gave everything. He made me a devotee. So, and he gifted you to me. Therefore, I simply want to serve my Guru birth after birth. I don't want anything else. So look at his respect for Narada. Look at his respect for the Devatas. So you can see that, and in the same manner, although his father was a die-hard atheist, he closed down the yajna performance, Hiranyakashipu. He stopped all the Brahmanas from chanting the Vedic mantras. He told them to chant his own name. Later on, when Prahlad became the king, immediately he reinstituted everything that's mentioned in Vishnu Purana. He said, reinstitute everything like performance of yajna. Brahmana should be given remuneration. Dharma, dan should be given to them. Dakshina should be given to them. They should be encouraged to perform the spiritual activities. And as soon as he became the king, the first thing he did was he went on a travel and came to Melikote area, where there is a place called Rishabh Hills. There he met one Avadhut Brahman, from whom he took advice on how a king should lead his praja. The spiritual truths he learned. Prahlad, you can see that. So he had a lot of respect for saintly persons like Avadhut Brahman. He had respect for the Devatas. He had respect for his Guru Narada. Many examples we can give. He never ignored the scriptural injunctions. He always was seeking counsel of wise and learned people learned in Dharma. Although he was born in an atheistic family, he restored spiritual culture in the kingdom. See, Hiranyakashipu's rule was tyranny, isn't it? Whereas Prahlad led with humility, devotion and all that. See, here Prahlad is offering a prayer here. Oh Supreme Lord, you are the protector of Dharma. Please bless me so that I may rule my kingdom as your humble servant, always upholding the teachings of the Brahmanas and the Vedas. That's his prayer to Lord. Such a humble devotee he was. So that is Brahmanyaha. Then second quality, Shila Sampannaha, exemplary conduct and character. See, the word Shila in Sanskrit has a deep and profound meaning. See here, one meaning is character. That means your disposition and ethical qualities. How you ethically behave. Uh, like, for example, killing animals. It's not ethical. They also have life. They also eat, sleep like us. Therefore, there are organizations which talk about ethical, uh, protection. So you will see that. And also, what is the difference between moral and ethical? Like Ravana had a moral problem. What is it? Should I take away Sita or not? So it's a very simple answer. You should not take. That's the answer, isn't it? But he followed the path of immorality. And Kumbhakarna had an ethical problem. What was it? He knew that his brother was immoral, whether to support an immoral brother or not. That became ethical problem. Same problem, ethical dilemma. Who had? Arjuna also had. Like that. So you will see that inherently one has qualities of Dharma Shastra, talk about ethical qualities. And then morality, good behavior, adherence to Dharma, self-control, righteousness, purity in thought, word, and deed. All these are called as Shila. Yeah. And Prahlad, it's very amazing. Look at Prahlad. He showed humility even to those who insulted him, like his father. Every time he went to his father, he bowed down to his father. And with folded palms, father would pick him up and keep him on the lap. So he respected his father, although he was badly scolded by him and insulted by him. And although many times he was subjected to child abuse by his father's beating and trying to assassinate him, he still was morally strong. He never had any revenge, neither for his father nor for the perpetrators who were beating him and throwing him down the cliff, putting him under the under the elephant's foot, or putting him in a pit of hungry snakes or lions. He never developed any revenge towards them. He always had compassion. So the Shila is defined in many places. Look at the Mahabharata here. Shilam hi paramam shreyaha, Shilam paramamayushaha, Shilam hi yashasam moolam, Shilam paramamangalam. Character is the highest virtue. Character leads to a long life. Character is the root of all fame, and character is greatest auspiciousness. This is another one. Chanakya also says, Shilam param bhushanam, Shilam param dhanam. He says it's the greatest ornament, it's the greatest wealth, he says. And Prahlad had that, he was a Shila Sampannaha. First he was Brahmanyaha, then secondly, Shila Sampannaha. Exemplary conduct and character. So all of us in this day and age, if somebody insults us or gives a feedback to us, we are unable to take it. People become immediately enemies. Best of the friends become worst of the enemies if somebody gives a feedback. Gaurang Prabhu was once telling me, in this age, people are like, touch me not, he was telling. As soon as you give a feedback, their face becomes small immediately. So he was telling, now I have stopped giving feedback, I only give feed friend, he was telling. I only give prasadam in the mouth. So, we are unable to take insult or correction if somebody does it. But here we can learn from Prahlad how to be a Shila Sampanna, a person of high character and virtue, discipline and integrity. Humility, even when insulted, morally strong, even when facing injustice. So he never sought revenge and prayed for his enemies. All these qualities. So then third quality, Satyasandaha, firm in truth. You see, when he met his father, he never feared to speak the truth about devotion to Lord Vishnu. Yesterday you all saw also, correct? No? The video I was showing you. His guru is saying, what is it? Om Iranyaya Namaha. And what he said? Om Namaha. Correct. You all have picked up now. Isn't it? So, and the guru is asking, hey, who is superior? You or me? And he says, Api is superior. Api bada hai. You are the superior. And then he says, Nisande, he was telling. Yes, you are superior, but you are teaching me wrong things, so I won't repeat Om Hiranyaya Namah, he said. Huh? Om Narayana Namah. So he was very daring to speak the truth. Some of our boys going to company, they make the Kantimala into one single mala and put inside. And one of our boys went like that. He put his button like this, rub off the tilak. They never show to anybody that I am a devotee. So this boy was like that, very afraid to tell anybody I am ISKCON devotee. So he was hiding. So in his company, his friends sometime would have a party. They would give some sweet or something. So he would accept it, but after the colleagues would go away, he would throw it in the dustbin or give it to some beggar or something. He will not eat it. One day it so happened that now he was, of course, wearing kantimala, eating only prasad and not even onion, garlic and all. He was strictly following. But in the company, it so happened that one boy had a birthday in his team. So everybody, he wanted to personally put in their mouth cake. So they caught this, two people caught his two hands and he was shouting and shouting, put the cake inside his mouth. And then he was saying, no, I will eat later, I will eat later. They said, no, we want to feed everybody now only. Then he wrote a mail to me, Radheshyam, Prabhu, I have fallen down in my spiritual life. I was shocked. Immediately I phoned him and said, what fall down? Then he told me the incident. Then I told him, okay, you come and meet me. So he met me. I told him, see, the problem is you never revealed. You are if you wear the Kantimala, if you cannot wear tilak, at least Kantimala, you can say that I am a Krishna devotee. I am going to ISKCON. Then they would not have forced you to eat. You can say we have some principles. Correct, no? So one thing is, when Srila Prabhupada, whether in India or America, he spoke the truth. He never hid the truth. In front of even Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad spoke the truth. Of course, Hiranyakashipu asked the question to him. Now, what is the best thing that you learned? Yesterday I told you. He told about Navavida Bhakti and everything. He became wild. You know, he threw Prahlad from his lap and he ordered his servants. If in a person's body there is a boil which is increasing in pus, we would call a doctor to cut it off, isn't it? Although it belongs to our own body only. In my body only, if there is a boil, it's getting rotten. I will cut it. Similarly, Prahlad has become like a rotting boil in my body. Although he has come from my body, he is my son, but he has become favorable to Vishnu and antagonistic to me. Therefore, I want to get rid of him. Take him to any place and administer any kind of treatment. Make sure that he cannot remain alive. A father, can you imagine? Mother, father are supposed to be the dearest ones for the children. We cannot think of our own father harming us like that. Prahlad had to face such a wrath of his father. They did all kinds of things to Prahlad. They pierced his body with spears. See here, he ordered him to be beaten by soldiers. He tried poisoning him. So one of the days, Hiranyakashipu gave half a glass of cobra poison to Kayadu, Prahlad's mother, and said, feed this to your son. She cried like anything. He said, don't cry, wipe your tears. It's a husband's order, you have to follow. So she gave it to Prahlad and went away. When Prahlad saw that, he saw Lord Narayana lying in Anantashesh, Lakshmi massaging Narayana's feet. He said, oh mother, you have given me Amritam. And he drank it and it actually became Amrita. So in this way you will see how he threw him into a pit of snakes and attempted to crush him under elephant's feet and all that, burned him in fire. So, although in all these situations Lord Vishnu protected Prahlad, Lord Narasimha protected, Prahlad never lied or hid his devotion. Satyasandaha, he was always speaking the truth very boldly, without any fear. So that's one of the qualities, Satyaparayan. And then another quality, Jitendriyaha, master of the senses. So he had full control over his mind and senses, unaffected by material pleasures. This is a very amazing thing. Actually, I hadn't read in Bhagavatam, but in Vishnu Purana there is a very nice reference. I will show you. See, here His father, what he did, after failing to kill Prahlad through brutal punishments, Hiranyakashipu adopted another strategy, alluring him with material indulgences. Because he thought, if I provide him money, beauty, comforts and all, Prahlad will get diverted by bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya apahrita chetasam. That was his idea. So what he did, he made a royal seduction plan. He sent Prahlad with beautiful celestial maidens who were trained in art of seduction. Seduction means seduce, means woman trying to pull you down, just like a prostitute went to allure Haridas Thakur, like that. Yeah? Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Okay, good. So, here his father sent beautiful celestial maidens to sexually agitate him. And also offered him luxurious foods, intoxicating drinks, and music, dance by girls and everything, and then amusements to captivate his mind. And then he even promised him that I'll make you the king of the world, all these things. But you see, he was thinking, he's just a boy. If he enjoys pleasures, he'll forget everything about devotion, so-called devotion, they thought. See, what was Prahlad's response, you see? He saw the beautiful woman as mere dolls of flesh, temporary and insignificant. In fact, Prahlad talks about this in his teachings to his friends. You know what he says? Kutra shishashruti sukha mrigatrishni rupa kveda kalevara mashesha rujam viroha. You know what he's asking? He's saying, my dear friends, kutra shishashruti sukha. The pleasure of the material pleasures in this world, namely sex life, he says this is simply shruti sukha, which means it's only pleasure you have heard. Really, nobody can experience any happiness in this, he says. And somebody may say, really, there is no pleasure at all? Then he says, Yanmai tunadi grihamedi sukham gitucham. He says, Kandu yanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukkha vaja kanduti van manasijam vishaketa diraha. He is saying that if somebody feels some scratch, any of you feel some itching sensation. If you scratch, you feel very nice. How many of you feel nice when you scratch it? Feel nice. But then after scratching, the result is you want to scratch more. And then you scratch more and more, what happens? It becomes reddish. But still the itching is there or gone? Again when you scratch, it starts bleeding that time. So he said sex pleasure is like that. He said, the more you try to indulge in sex, the more you suffer terribly over a period of time, he said. And what to do if the itching sensation comes? What do you do? Just take some Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam and memorize some shlokas. You forget about the itching. Itching will come, stay for a while and go away. Agama, apayino, anityaha, tam stidiksha sabhar. So in America there is a plant called ivy plant. If you touch that plant and touch any part of the body, you will get itching sensation. And then people scratch here, sculpture, and the whole body becomes reddish, like a plumpy ball. The doctors say two things you should do whenever you touch that poison ivy medicine. One thing is, don't scratch any part of the body, even though it may be itching. Secondly, apply medicine. So our medicine is, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So that's like a balm. You apply that balm, that's one thing you should do. Second thing, don't scratch, what is it? Following four relative principles. If you follow four regs and strictly chant Hare Krishna, it's like applying balm and not scratching. So Prahlad Maharaj told his friends, this sex life, you will never be satisfied. So in this way, he saw those beautiful damsels, but he was not allured by them. Everything he saw as fleeting pleasure. He told his friends in one more verse, Sukham maindriyakam daitya deha yogena dehinam sarvatra labhyate daivat yatha dukkam ayatnataha. He says, is there any person who goes to a temple and says, oh God, last 3 years I had no disease. Please give me at least a headache. Huh? Do any of you go and ask for suffering? No. But suffering comes or not? How many of you agree some suffering comes? Did you ask for it? The same manner, don't ask for happiness, it will come, he's saying. Without asking, suffering came. Without asking, happiness also will come. So he told his friends, there is something called stored pleasure. He told, a pig has a tongue for stool. You have a tongue for halwa. So you get pleasure in halwa, he gets pleasure in stool. Similarly, a dog is sleeping in a platform and you are sleeping in your home. You close your eyes, the quality of your sleep and quality of dog sleep, no difference. It's the same thing. So Prahlad told, don't be very proud of your material pleasures. Animals are also enjoying it. You are a human being. You can actually, tattva jignasa you can do. Ask questions about how to go beyond this world and go back to Godhead. So he preached to all his friends. He very easily could give up the allurements. Here comes the point. He then spoke, oh, foolish demons. He told, you think pleasure lies in these fleeting enjoyments. Real happiness is found in devotion to Lord Vishnu. His senses are completely under control. Even in Bhagavatam also, there are many verses in which he was completely indifferent to all these things. So Hiranyakashipu understood, oh, this boy has an iron mind, he said. Neither torture nor pleasure affects him. First he tried to torture him. Prahlad tolerated everything. Then he tried to give pleasures to him. Neither could the pleasures allure him, nor could the torture, kill him. So in this way, he had perfect mastery over the senses. So we all have two types of provocation. One is lust, another one is anger. If somebody insults you, we become angry. Somebody allures you, some beautiful woman, we become tempted. So these are the two pushings that every jiva has to face. So Prahlad Maharaj was unaffected by these two. So he's Jitendriya. He conquered his senses. The next quality, Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam. He sees all living beings as equal. In Bhagavad Gita also you read now Pandita and Krishna. So we should treat all creatures with respect. You see, every living being deserves to be respected because, we should have a reverence for all life. Sometimes you see a small creature in a book, moving. How many of you have seen? When you open an old book, correct? It's small. But the moving point shows that there must be life in it. Atma is present. And then the same Atma is present in a big elephant also. The Atma, spark of life, has so much power. It can animate the body of an elephant or body of a small germ. But wherever there is life, we should not kill it. We should not trouble it, torture it. We should respect it. Why? Because that living spark is a child of God. 14.4 Krishna says, Tasam Brahma Mahadyonir Aham Bija Pradhapita. See, you are walking on the road. If there is a bug, if you crush it with your boots, then that sinful reaction will come. You have seen that? How many of you have seen Karma Ghost video? Some of them have seen. So those who are raising hand, you can show it to others if they haven't seen. Where is it available? Is it in Desiree? It's available? Karma Ghost? No. In YouTube it's available? In YouTube it's available. Don't see now. Later on you can see it. You note down Karma Ghost, you can see that later. You'll get an idea. If you crush a bug, then you'll be punished also. See, if a truck is going on the road, he finds a Luna. Can he hit the Luna? Why? Because if the Luna driver gets down and truck driver gets down, they are of the same quality. Same type of human being is driving the truck, driving the Luna, driving, any aeroplane or anything. Similarly, Pandita Samadarshana, see, treat other living beings as you want to be treated. See, here it says, therefore Prahlad had such a spiritual vision. See, Hiranyakashipu always saw that this is my friend, this is my enemy. Always. He categorized the world as. See, even all of you think for a moment in our lives. See, if somebody is favoring me, I call them as my friend. Somebody gave me demotion in the company, or some teacher gave you bad marks, then they become enemy for you. Somebody hampers my sense gratification, they become enemy. Somebody gave me sense gratification, they become friend. Like you see Duryodhana and Karna, how they became friends? Because Duryodhana made Karna king of Angadesh, so they became friends. Correct? No? But in this world, best friends can become worst enemies. Can you give an example for this? Best friends became worst enemies. Drona and Drupada, they were best of friends in the school, Gurukula. Later they became worst of enemies. Sworn enemies, you will see that. Huh? So in this world, friendship and enmity is based on sense gratification. But Prahlad had no enemy. He was like Ajata Shatru. You see how he treated Hiranyakashipu is asking, who has taught you all this devotion to Vishnu? Prahlad is saying, my dear father, a person influenced by illusory energy of the Lord sees difference between himself and others. But in truth, all living beings are servants of Supreme Lord Vishnu. How can one servant be, envious of another servant? We all are servants of Supreme Lord Vishnu. So, but Hiranyakashipu, when Hiranyakashipu became furious and asked, Prahlad, today I myself will kill you, sever your head from your body, he said. Till now I employed so many of the servant demons to do it. Today let me see, whomever you keep talking about Vishnu, let us see whether he is going to come to save you. At that time, one thing surprised Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad did not run away. Prahlad did not cry. Prahlad did not lift another sword. And Prahlad did not become angry. He was just standing erect without any fear. So at that time, Hiranyakashipu asked, my dear boy, where are you getting the strength from? You have the audacity to stand in front of me so boldly without any fear of me showing my sword to you. And Prahlad said, my dear father, the strength of mind which you are asking, that strength, your strength, and Brahmaji's strength, and the strength of all the living entities, they all come from only one source, and that source is Lord Vishnu. Is Balam Balavatam Chaham, Krishna says. So, and do not become angry like this due to your uncontrolled mind, my dear father. Control your mind. Other than your mind in this world, there is no other enemy, Prahlad said. So in this way, he taught even his father vision of equality. Father saw Prahlad as an enemy, but Prahlad prayed for his father. See here, Prahlad is giving an analogy. Just as the sun is reflected in many different water bodies, big and small, clean and dirty, yet remains the same. Similarly, Supreme Lord is within all beings, whether high or low. So in Sanskrit, there are two words, para, avara. Two words are used. So one should see, like for example, when you look at the people of the world, some people are ugly, some are handsome. Some are black, some are fair. Some are tall, some are short. Some are thin, some are fat. And some are rich, some are poor. Some are highly educated, some are uneducated. But although there is difference between all the external bodies, in each of these bodies, Supreme Lord Vishnu is standing in the heart as Super Soul, besides the soul. So you are the resident of your body and Lord Vishnu is the president. So the resident and president both are seated in this body. So Prahlad could see that and respect every living being. It's like a father and son walking on the road. You can't go and pinch the son. If you pinch a son, father will slap you. Similarly, Super Soul is accompanying everybody. I can't hurt any. If I hurt any jiva, then Lord will become upset with me. You tell me, any parent, if you insult them, they'll be angry, or if you insult their child, they'll be angry. Yes? Any parent, will they get, if you hurt them, they'll be unhappy, or if you hurt their child, they'll be unhappy. Similarly, the Super Soul is in the heart of every living being. So if you mistreat other living entities, Lord will become upset with you. So therefore, one should always respect other living entities. We should always think, father and son, Father is holding the son's hand and walking. You cannot hurt anybody. If you want to scold somebody, you have to take permission of the father also. Isn't it? Huh? So in this way, Prahlad could see beyond caste, creed, color, nationality, everything, status. You could see the Lord. Prabhupada was like that, isn't it? Prabhupada started this movement in America. You know, he went to hippies, Bowery, hippie land. One place Prabhupada went, some devotees took him to a farm. In that farm, everybody was nude completely. They had no dress in their body. And they all came and sat. And then Prabhupada asked them, what are you doing? What's the goal of your life? They said, we make potatoes in our field, they were saying. Prabhupada said, that is all right, but that's not the goal of your life. But what is the ultimate goal? They didn't know. And then Prabhupada gave them a lecture, made them all chant Hare Krishna. And then left that place. He didn't see who is who. In America, he met priests, he met politicians, he met hippies, he met in India also men, women, children, everybody Prabhupada preached to. You know, wherever there was a spark of interest in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada preached to them. How much open-minded Prabhupada was, I can tell you an example. When Prabhupada went to one big hall like this, he went and sat in the front bench. At the other extreme end of the bench, there was one boy sitting. And then Prabhupada called him. They were the only two sitting at that time. Boy came. Prabhupada asked, are you a Hindu? He asked him. Boy said, no, I'm a Muslim, he said. Then Prabhupada said, when I was a small boy, you know, they used to chant this Allah in the church, in the mosques. I used to ask my mom, what is it? My mom would say, oh, they're calling out God. So Prabhupada spoke to him like that and then said, I need one small help from you, he said. And he told the boy, can you take care of this trunk, which I brought with me? And the boy said, yes, I can take it. Later on, I'll take from you. Meanwhile, a lot of crowd started coming. Hall was getting filled up. And then Prabhupada went to the stage up to sit and speak. Then the boy realized that this is a speaker for today. And after finishing the lecture, Prabhupada told all the people, you see in the front bench, one boy is sitting with my box, he will give you my books. He directly engaged him in book distribution. And then he told the boy, whatever money they give, you put it in that box and give them whatever book they want. So this boy later on wrote in Leelamrita, he wrote, he said how Prabhupada was so friendly with even very, very new people. No? You know, whenever he came across anybody, he never categorized anybody as higher caste, lower caste, Indian. Prabhupada said Krishna is not an Indian or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or anything. Krishna is God for all jivas. Aham bija pradaha pita. Yeah, see, this is from Padma Purana, Uttarakhand. It says, when Hiranyakashipu ordered Prahlad to be thrown into a pit of venomous snake, he did not cry and protest. Instead, he folded his hands and prayed, oh Lord, these creatures are also your servants. They are simply acting according to their nature. Please do not punish them for what they do to me. May they also be blessed with devotion to you. Like that he was praying. You know, you were saying this last time in the morning, Prahlad praying for those who are punishing him, correct, no? We were talking, Nityamukta Prabhu was telling on the way, Prahlad is praying for those men employed by Hiranyakashipu to beat him. Even for them, he is praying that, oh Lord, deliver these people also. And then he was thinking that right now, see, how can you take it? Many of you may have a question. If somebody is hurting you, how can you tolerate them and not become angry with them? There is one way how you can do that. In the Shastras, it is said the jivas are subjected to three gunas. You know what are they? Tamaguna, Rajaguna, Sadam. So Bhagavatam says that anybody who is in Rajaguna, Tamaguna is like a drunkard. If a drunkard is yelling at you, will you take it seriously? How many of you won't take seriously if a drunkard is yelling? Yeah. Similarly, conditions also like drunkards only. Pishacha payalayata matichanna hai, it is said. As if they are ghost haunted. So if they are saying some insulting words, you hear it like this, leave it like this and push off. Like we say, the dogs may bark, but the caravan goes on. You can just go on. Prahlad did not take these people's even dealings and behavior seriously. He prayed for them. See, here he says, the moment the snakes tried to bite him, they lost their poison and became peaceful. Even the wild creatures could sense Prahlad's purity and universal love. One pastime comes to my mind. Once Haridas Thakur was sitting in a cave and some Vaishnavas went to meet him. At that time, there was a big mountain snake which was also in the same cave. And when Vaishnavas saw that, they started trembling. And then Haridas Thakur told them, okay, I think you all are worried about me being in the cave where a snake is also living. I am also living, snake is also living. Both can live, not a problem. He is also God's servant, I am also God's servant. But in case all of you are very disturbed about it, I will leave this place and come to any other place, you may tell me. So when the snake heard it, the snake thought, I should not disturb this great saint. So it slithered away, went out. So, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Bhavasthiti, 16.1 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, great saintly persons, they are never afraid. So Prahlad Maharaj saw even the snakes as servants of God. Ultimately, Prahlad prayed for deliverance of his father, isn't it? See, this is another word, Eka Priya Suhrittamaha, true well-wisher of all. The word Eka is used only for Krishna. He is unparalleled, singular well-wisher for everybody. Actually, in this world, if you want to know who is your well-wisher, to some degree you have seen your mother or father showing well-wishing nature towards you. Every one of us, we trust those who think about our well-being, even in our absence also. Like your mother or father always think about you, how to feed you nicely, how to keep you healthy, how to give you money and make you study well and rise up in life. They are thinking. But this mother, father will live with us only for 80 to 100 years max. When we die, then we get a new mother, father we get. But there is only one person who will always accompany you. Wife will leave the husband's dead body at the door of the house. She cannot leave and come. Relatives will come and just stand for some time and go away. Son will go up to the graveyard and put fire to the father's dead body and he will go away. After everybody is gone, there is only one person who accompanies you. Who is that? Krishna. So he is a true friend. So although he is our best friend, we ignore him, but then we give all our time and life for so many other people. Think about it. So Lord is called Ekapriya Suhritamaha. The same is used for devotee also. Like Lord is called Suhrit. See, there are three names. Mitra means social friend. Bandhu means blood relative. But Suhrit means heart-to-heart friend. So when Prahlad was preaching to his friends, he told his friends that, my dear friends, why you should worship Vishnu. He told one famous verse. You all can repeat after me. Tahi purushasyeha Vishnu padopasarpanam Yadesha sarva bhutanam Priya Atmeshwara Suhrit. Priya means, my dear friends, Lord Vishnu is very dear to the souls, he said. Like how many of you consider your parents are very dear to your heart? Correct, no? Because this parent you have seen immediately. Actually, they are very dear to you. So, your parents are only local parents, but Radha Krishna are global parents. Their parents are Bapa no Bap, mother of all mothers, father of all fathers. In South India, there is a famous Sri Vaishnava recite one prayer. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Yesterday is also the poem I showed you. Prahlad was telling his friends, oh, that Lord, Supreme Lord Vishnu is your mother, is your father, is your friend, is your wealth, is your education, he is be all and end all. He is everything for you. There is no one like him who is very dear to you. He is the most dearest to you. You have forgotten that relationship because Maya covering has come. He was telling. So, the Lord, even Suniti Mata, Dhruva's mother, told him, my dear boy, you are crying, I am unable to pacify you. But if you go to forest and see Vishnu, you will get the love of 1,000,000 mothers from Lord Vishnu. Million mothers, can you imagine? One mother itself we are so happy with. Imagine, combine the love of a million mothers. You just cannot explain. Actually, there cannot be any well-wisher than Krishna for us. He is supremely good, and nobody can do any favor for us than Supreme Lord. So he told the Lord is Priya, and Atmeshwar means Lord is the master of Atma. He is the Swami of Atma, all of us. And Surat, he is a well-wisher. So he is also a well-wisher, he is also our master, and we also love him. Three things he said. Therefore, we should go to him. Same way we say, Titikshava, Karunika, Suhrida, Sarvadehina. Devotee is also Surat, Lord is also Surat. Why are we calling devotee as Surat? Devotee takes you to Krishna. Therefore, devotee is also Surat. Devotee introduces you to Krishna, connects you to Krishna. There cannot be a better well-wisher than a devotee. If we all didn't come across devotees, I don't know what we will be doing. We will be just rotting in this world. Going here, going there, repeatedly rotating in cycle of birth and death. Yeah. And then next quality, Dasavat Sannataryangrihi. So what I did one additional exercise. Humble like servant to saints. He was always very humble. So I took Hanuman's example. Lord Hanuman, who considered himself the eternal servant of Ram. See some of the fine qualities of Hanuman you will see here. What is this? It's huh? Where is that? Huh? It won't come? Huh? Oh, is it? I can remove the yellow one. Should I? No, whenever the yellow color comes, he disturbed, he is saying. Sometimes I can remove the highlight if you want. Should I? Okay, I'll go ahead. Yeah. Okay. See, Hanuman, Hanuman is known for selfless seva, isn't it? Huh? And his devotion to Lord Ram. See, some of the qualities, very amazing qualities of Hanuman. Okay, I'll remove the yellow one. I'll remove the yellow. I think he's very worried about it this much. Just 1 minute. No, I'll just. Okay. Also, it's a gift picture is. Uh, no, now it's all right. It's all right now. Now it's all right. Don't touch anything. Leave it. Leave it. It's coming. See, absolute surrender and service attitude. When he introduced himself to Sita, asked, "Who are you?" Dasoham Kaushalendrasya Ramasya Aklishta Karmana, he says. I am humble servant of Ram, the king of Koshala Desh, who is ever flawless in action. Aklishta Karmana. Spotless personality, Rama. I am his servant, he says, to whom he was absolutely surrendered. Then see his humility. Hanuman never displayed any ego, you see. When he was praised for burning Lanka and by finding Sita, what he said is, Kritam yat tat prasadena ragavasya mahatmanah, he is saying. Whatever I have done is only by the grace of Lord Rama. Like that he is saying. So that's what he said. He was always praising Lord Rama. Then when he went to Ravana's palace, you see, he actually undertook lot of challenges of crossing the ocean, entering Lanka. And then his fearlessness in Ravana's court, he told, Naham Ramasya Dutasya Karishye Vachanam Tava. He said, I am Rama's messenger, I will never follow your words, Ravana. He said. See, in Bhagavad Gita, you hear Karishye Vachanam Tava. Here he says, Na Karishye Vachanam Tava. He's telling to whom? Ravana, I promise you that I will not follow your words. Because I am whose servant? Rama's. So he was daring servant, fearless and tireless in service. See, Ravana wanted to insult Hanuman. In the middle of the court, he made him stand and told his ministers, don't give this monkey any seat, because he's after all a monkey. He doesn't deserve a seat. Hanuman said, really? I am servant of Ram. You are insulting me means you are insulting my master, Ram. I am his representative. Don't worry, you don't have to give seat. I'll make my own seat. And he made his seat like this. So much, so high that Ravana had to look up like this. See, unshakable faith and dependability. Rama himself told Hanuman, Name dasosti bhuteshu nachamenya priyakvachit. There is no servant in this world greater than Hanuman for me. No one is as dearer to me than Hanuman. Like that, he showed reliability and dependability for Lord Rama. He always bowed to great sages, devotees. Like you see, he is bowing to Jambavan. So ultimately, Lord Rama told, Sarvam Karishye Hanuman, Yatvaya Bhashitam Mai. Whatever you tell me to do, Hanuman, I will do it. Lord Rama is telling. I fulfill whatever you say. Because you are so dedicated to me, I trust you 100%. So why am I showing this? Prahlad was also exactly like this. Although I don't have all these quotes directly about Prahlad from the Puranas, but Prahlad was also, see, the point is this, Dasavat Sannataryangri, he was always a humble servant while dealing with seniors and saints and the Lord and the Devatas, with everybody. He was always humble like a servant. He was in the mood of Dasosmi, Dasosmi, Dasosmi. Bhaksantu Thakur, anybody would tell him, he would say, Dasosmi, he would say, I am servant. See, Pitruvat Deenavad Salaha. You see, all his friends, they considered him like a Guruji. Prahlad. You saw yesterday he was preaching. They asked, one of his friends, the demon was asking him, तुम्हारे तुम्हारे भगवान का नाम क्या है? He said, नाम? उनके अनगिनत नाम है. He said. Then the other boy was asking him, अरे अनगिनत नाम क्यों है? He was asking. He said, अरे हम एक नाम भूल जाएंगे तो दूसरा नाम याद आएगा ना? Neither he was telling, isn't it? The friend was telling. And then he asked, तुम्हारे हरि का माँ कौन है, बाप कौन है? He said, हरि का माँ नहीं, बाप नहीं, उनका जन्म ही नहीं उनका, अजन्मा है, और वो सबके माता पिता है, हरि. So yesterday we heard that how Prahlad is preaching to his friends. That means his friends trusted him and his friends inquired from him spiritually. And in this way, you can see people were all grown-up people. Prahlad was like a 5-year-old boy. Still he was like a father. Can you imagine? Pitruvat Dina Vatsalaha. When Prithu Maharaja also, when he became a king, it is said, Prajanam Pitruvatsalaha. He treated his praja like a father treating his own children. So he was always compassionate to the weak and oppressed people. And Bhratruvat Sadrishe Snigdaha, affectionate like a brother to his equals. My special master was once giving a seminar to the leaders. In that he was telling us that our preaching should be like Prahlad, he was telling. It has a combination of 3 things. You can remember this CAP formula. Compassionate, authoritative, pleasing. 3 things should be combined together. So one should not frighten people saying that if you don't surrender to God, you will go to hell. There are 28 hells awaiting. So there was one preacher who was showing all the 28 hells. He said, Tambago kaoge, narak jaoge. So people are trembling. So don't preach cruelly to people. Preach compassionately, he was telling. And preach authoritatively from the scriptures, with shlokas and quotes and everything. And preach in a pleasing manner. Like we saw how Prahlad preached to his friends. Like how Krishna preached to Arjuna. Based on love and trust. So Prahlad saw all his classmates as his own loving brothers. He treated them with love and respect. Although he was son of the king, he never had the pride that I am king's son and these guys are all from ordinary families. That kind of difference he never felt. He just treated them just like one of, he was living with them like one of them. There was no superiority complex. And he preached to them. Fearlessly guided the friends. And they all became devotees. Gurushu Ishwara Bhavanaha. He saw his gurus as God's representative. Yeah. Just as Dhruva Maharaj faithfully followed the instructions of Narada, similarly, Prahlad Maharaj faithfully followed teachings of Narada in the womb that he learned. He treated Guru as good as God, with so much of respect for everything that he learned. So, we have many people in Guru's sthanam. We have sannyasis, we have senior devotees, we have our own spiritual master, our parents also, and there are wise, learned people. Krishna also says, Deva Dvija Guru Pragyam Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsa cha Shariram Tapavuchyate. One of the austerities for the body in the morning is to go and bow down to the Acharya. And then bow down to the deities of the Lord and bow down to the seniors. Sometimes bowing down, we may find it very difficult. Oh, my body is paining. You may say that. But that's austerity. By bowing, you get mercy. You attract blessings. So he always respected superiors. Vidyartharupa janmadya manastamba vivarjitaha. Although born in a demoniac family, he embodied divine wisdom. He was having great knowledge, which he preached to his friends. And also, he was the son of the king of the world, not just one earth. His father was Trilokadipati. He was the son. Naturally, you can imagine how much influence he must have had as a prince. But Manastamba Vivarjitaha, he says, completely was free from pride. So, I have given some qualities below what youth can apply in your life. Respect teachers and elders, develop good moral character, always speak the truth, control distractions and bad habits, see everyone. Okay, let's put this. Yeah. Control distractions and bad habits, see everyone as equal, avoid discrimination, be a true friend, help others selflessly, serve saints and spiritual mentors with humility, be compassionate to the needy, isn't it? Treat peers with respect and kindness. Bhratravat sadrishe snigdaha. Stay humble, never be arrogant about knowledge or achievements. So these are some of the qualities of Prahlad, but there are many more which we will not be able to cover. There are two levels of qualities. One is on the Sattva Guna platform, then his devotional transcendental qualities are separately explained further. I will just show you the heading in 5 minutes and we will conclude it. See here, unflinching bhakti, ananya bhakti, Shuddha bhakti that he practiced for Lord Narasimha. Yeah. So he had unshakable faith in the Supreme Lord. Similarly, fearlessness and tolerance, tiriksha, in front of his father. And he was compassionate and forgiving, karuna and kshama. And he was always truthful, which we said. So these are summary qualities they put together. So, amanitam adambitvam. So, there are transcendental qualities which are not shown here, which I have not shown. Transcendental qualities I have not shown here. How Prahlad, even as a small child, like sometimes he would see the Lord coming, he would smile. Sometimes the Lord would vanish, he would cry. And his hair would stand on end and tears would well up in his eyes when he would be singing and chanting. Sometimes he would loudly call out the holy name. So all the symptoms of bhava also manifested in the body of Prahlad. He was a completely pure devotee. He was spotlessly pure. And just like God's quality is completely anavadyam, pure. So Prahlad, the pure devotee's body also becomes like that. They become completely like a sun, has no blemish. Prahlad became such a wonderful devotee. Narada Muni says that any sabha, assembly of devotees, there will never be a katha without mentioning Prahlad, he says. Prahlad was always glorified. So today we discuss the qualities of Prahlad because by understanding these qualities, some of these qualities may inspire us to implement it in our lives as practicing devotees. To the degree we cultivate these qualities, we can attract Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy, and Vaishnava's mercy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I can take 5 minutes. I can take one or two questions, 6 minutes.
Anyone who wants to ask?
Hare Krishna.
There are two hands out there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dharma Pranam. You made told a story about the person who did not want to become Ravana, but I think that
Person who?
did not want to act as Ravana in that play.
Correct.
So my question is like, even though remove the bad qualities of Ravana, it is not the best thing in the world to fight the Lord, because there is no better. He's the best. He's the best warrior of the world. So it must be a pride to fight with the Lord. So why is it?
Actually, it's not that to fight with the Lord is an advantageous thing. No matter how big a person is, if one fights on the opposite side of the Lord, he'll be defeated. Like you see Bhishma, for example. Prabhupada says one Bhishma was equivalent to 25,000 Arjunas, Prabhupada says. But yet he was defeated. In front of the Lord, nobody can stand. So, at the same time, we don't extol the glory of Asura, like Ravana or anybody like that. Even Hanuman says Ravana had many amazing qualities, but because he had this one bad quality of abducting others' wives, then it's like adding poison and milk. Everything is finished by that. So, I was telling that that man didn't agree to fight because Ravana is a bad character. Duryodhana is a bad character. Kamsa is a bad character. So, he didn't want to act in the role of bad character. He wanted to act in some good role. Therefore, he said, clear? Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. So I was just curious. So we have heard about Prahlad Maharaj, like he was very great devotee from even like taking birth. So what was Prahlad Maharaj's past life?
Actually, in the past life, in one of the Puranas, it is said that he came to one mandapam. At that time, he had to sleep that night. So, he swept the mandapam with a broomstick and he lied down in that place and left the place. And that mandapam happened to be the extension of a Vishnu temple. Because he had rendered some service. Next life, he became a devotee. Like that, it is mentioned. Yeah. So, even all of us, if we keep on entering some seva, we may not even know. Eventually, it will all get added up into a spiritual account and then bring us closer to Lord. Yeah. Maharaj, you want to say something, Maharaj? There is a hand up. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. One question I had, like many times in a conditioned state, we try to compare ourselves with the great souls. Like there's a tendency to compare with the great souls. How to subdue this, if you can explain?
See, one devotee went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, that fellow says, I want to be like Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, what's wrong? Prabhupada said, what's wrong? He want to be like me. It's very good. I think he want to be more serious like me, he said. So, when we talk about, oh, Prabhupada is so pure. So, I want to follow Prabhupada and strictly become a pure devotee one day. Like Prabhupada, if somebody says, there is no problem. When it is a problem, when one wants the power and position of Prabhupada, like Acharya, but one wants to continue one's corrupt life of bad qualities, then it is bad. So, and one should know there is a difference between desiring to become like some good devotee and feeling bad about somebody being better than us. There's a very big difference. Gopis also in the spiritual world, they say, oh, that gopi has made a better garland than me. And Radha and Krishna liked it very much. I'll go to that gopi and learn how to make the garland in such a fine manner so that I can also learn to make good garland like her and please the Lord. Like that they think. But in this material world, people think, oh, somebody is doing better than me, I'll pull the leg. That's very bad. We should not try to condemn somebody's service or criticize them, and that is done out of envy. Whereas in spiritual world also there is competition, but that competition is actually something that enhances service attitude and appreciation for others. No devotee condemns any other devotee. Hmm? One last question, one hand was up there. I think.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Here.
Where? Ah, okay, yeah.
Actually, my question is here you explained how Hiranyakashipu want to seduce by sending beautiful women and everything. And same Hiranyakashipu teaches his mother and his wife of Hiranyaksha, don't worry, he speaks very advanced knowledge. How can he do this thing to 5-year kid Prahlad Maharaj?
See, there are many people who may possess knowledge, they may possess the knowledge, but they may not apply it in their life. Correct, no? That's the most important thing Maharaj was telling also. It's not enough to know the knowledge, we have to apply the knowledge. Hiranyakashipu was giving very great upadesh to his mother and sister-in-law and all that, but he was not applying that knowledge because he was anti-Vishnu. Huh? And he was a total materialist, although he had the knowledge. There are many people who, one example I'll tell you, is only Satsubhadas Maharaj one day came to know that there's a professor in America who had done some Gita Govindam PhD. Huh? So he went to meet him. And he had also done research on Jiva Goswami. So he went to meet him. So as soon as he went to his office, he patted the door. And then he opened the door and said, "Sir, you are so-and-so?" He said, "Yes." "Hari Bol," he said. And that man was like, what Hari Bol? He didn't even understand. Because he was a doctorate in Gita Govindam and Jiva Goswami's writing and all, but he was not a devotee, that fellow. And Sadhguru Maharaj saw he was even smoking cigarette also. He was not chanting Hare Krishna. He was not practicing any religion. So then Maharaj understood there is a big difference between being a scholar on one hand and being a devotee on the other. These two are two different things. Is it clear? Yeah, it's getting late now. Yeah. 6:30, I'm also supposed to leave from here. So thank you all for coming in this weekend and giving your 3 days time and participating in this wonderful yatra. For me, it was like a big miracle for me to see so many of you in Dhoti Kurta in South India and coming to 8 rounds to 16 rounds. Almost half the crowd is 16 rounds now. Other half is 8 rounds to 15 rounds. It's very, very encouraging and very promising. And I see a very bright hope for the future South Indian preaching through all of you. Because Srila Prabhupada was telling, I am one old man, how much can I do? Prabhupada said. But this moment I am handing over to the youngsters, he said, who can take this moment to great heights in future. And many Prabhupada disciples faithfully preached in 40, 50 years, they have done their hard work. Now many of them are very old now. Many Prabhupada disciples are 75, 80 now. So they want to hand over the moment to next generation, which is all of you. So just like the Olympic torch is given from one hand to another. So my humble request to all of you, not only should you practice Krishna consciousness yourself so nicely as you are doing now, but please kindly try to introduce it to your friends. Every one of you, you have in your hostel, the same wing, there are some friends. How many of you have some friends in the same wing in your hostel? Correct? You have some friends. And how many of you in your college, you sit with some few boys who are different from your wing mates? How many of you have? Correct, no? That's the second circle you have. Then you have blood relatives who are your other friends, your cousins and everybody. So all these are called Swabandhu Mandal. Swabandhu Mandal. So preach to those people. Preach to those people and try to increase the number of devotees in this world, because devotees are like healing cells in this world. So very, very happy to be with all of you this last 2-3 days. It was very enlivening to see your spirit and your level of enthusiasm in participating in Harinam Sankirtan and coming for the morning program. Without much push, everybody was here for the Mangalarti today. It was like full in the morning. So this is a very good sign, very healthy sign of your sincerity and the great spirit. And I thank His Holiness Bhakti Paribhajak Maharaj, Bhakti Prachar Paribhajak Maharaj for his association Some of the classes he gave were so enlivening. Today, in the bank of that pond,